Hey, today we're going to look at the CEO's response to the patrol spawn rates, where he claims he doesn't know if it's an issue. He also answers a question about the review bomb cape. Additionally, we'll talk about a rumor that Helldivers 2 might be coming to Xbox Game Pass and much more. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up by tapping the like button below. We'll start off with the CEO's response to questions about the review bomb cape and the patrol spawns. The first question is about the review bomb cape, where this user asked, "Hey yo, at Pilistad, Shams Georgiani, any news at all about the review bomb cape? Is it still on the Taylor table?" To which this caught Shams' eye, and the CEO replied with, "Nothing yet." Well, nothing too exciting there, but it is an update because I've been asked quite a lot about the review bomb cape, and you can see there's no news about it. However, this did lead to a different question asked by another player who said, "Is there any news on looking at the AI spawning mechanics getting out of hand with bots? It's almost impossible to play against them at the moment." Shams, the CEO, replied and asked, "Which difficulty? I play on 6, 7 and it works fine. What's the issue with spawning exactly?" Then a different player chimed in and replied with, "I think the issue is mostly with 8 and 9. Too many small enemies are swarming Helldivers right now, which can be quite overwhelming." And lastly, the CEO Shams replied with, "I don't know if it's a spawning issue versus design as intended, i.e. a change in tactics loadout is needed." We still don't know if the spawning is intended or if Arrowhead may have messed up patrol spawns again. I think it's worth mentioning this piece of information considering that as of right now, we are all confused as of what's going on with it. I'd like to know what you all think about the spawn rates currently affecting difficulties level 8 and 9, because I do believe I saw a comment from someone who said they've seen 5 Bile Titans spawn on difficulty level 7, so let me know what you think in the comments. Alright, so there is now a rumor going around that allegedly Xbox is planning on releasing a huge game at the end of this month. And some are thinking that this might just be the one and only Helldivers 2. This was first mentioned on the Double Barrel Gaming podcast, where Boomstick hints at a rumor he heard that the day before, and C-Money agrees that he's aware of this rumor. And Boomstick states that he won't betray his source trust, and also advised C-Money to stay silent. And I would say take this with a grain of salt. Nevertheless, a channel called Xbox Era shared a rumor in April and said, "We know that PlayStation has a new CEO at the moment. I think the CEO might be more open to certain things. What I've heard, again, this is just a rumor that I've heard, is that there may be some very, very early preliminary discussions about the possibility of Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox." Obviously, this has yet to be confirmed by a legitimate source, so I'd say do not believe all the talk until there's proof back in these statements. With that being said, let's say it's true. I think some of you would take this as good news, considering it would help with the major orders, while others may find this a bit hard to swallow because of the whole Xbox versus PlayStation's war scenario situation, whatever, right? I personally just love gaming in general and hope to see both win. Moving along, have you been paying attention to the tips that pop up during the loading screen? If not, you're not alone because neither have I. There's a tip that one player had seen, and it's quite interesting because it has to do with decreasing spawn rates by closing both bug holes or fabricators. This Reddit user named Pixel Paint Posh Cow included this screenshot of a tip that mentions, "If the enemies just keep coming, find out where they're coming from and unleash hell. Bug hive, destroy. Bug factory, destroy." I wonder if this training manual tip is something that was supposed to be implemented, or maybe it was cut from the game at some point during the development. Honestly, I think it's not a bad idea and it makes sense. And on that note, it's a shame to see that it's not in the game currently. It would have served as a neat in-game mechanic, so what do you think about the training manual tip? Is it something you'd like to see or not? We're now going to push forward here and go over factory striders and command bunkers. You might already be aware of some of the tips and advice I'm going to give, so bear with me. Yet, however, for you out there that are currently struggling against the automatons, let me help you out a bit, and it might just help you with the latest major order. We'll first start off and briefly go over factory striders and what I like to do personally with this large, massive automaton. The latest commando stratagem is almost flawless against factory striders, and I say almost flawless because the tip here involves you and a commando. It's like 2 girls, 1 cup. It's messy, but it sure does get the job done. And that's what the commando exactly does. it gets the job done. So what you will need to do is summon down a commando, pick it up of course, and head directly underneath a factory strider belly and shoot all 4 rockets, and that's it. Now, exactly what's messy about this is that the bots occasionally will spawn from the strider, and the factory strider itself, once blown up, will begin to drop, and if you're not careful, you can end up crushed. If this was General Brash, he would have just picked up the strider and tossed it at a command bunker, and speaking of which, the command bunker is what we'll talk about next. If you are currently on the bunker mission, then I highly suggest using some of the following stratagems. I tend to find the most effective stratagems are Walking Barrage, Spear, and the Commando. You can of course choose whichever one suits your playstyle. The Walking Barrage, for instance, is easy because it only involves you throwing down the stratagem and letting it do all the work while you sit back or kick back and watch the explosions unfold. It can also be used to easily take out enemies and the command bunker without any hard work. Now, the Spear is by far my favorite because I can track the command bunker from afar and shoot a rocket towards it, which ultimately destroys it with 1 shot. While on the other hand, if you were to use the Commando, it takes 2 shots to blow one up. Yet even though that's the case, the Commando stratagem can be used quite often due to the cooldown, while the Spear is great because you can refill your backpack ammo if you find supplies or ammo on the ground. But it does have a bit longer cooldown. So really you have the choice of either shooting more rockets more often with the Commando, while the Spear you'll have better tracking, but there's longer cooldown of course, and you will need to find ammo afterwards once you run dry. And this is what I recommend trying out the next time you dive onto a planet. Set up a loadout revolving around these stratagems, and I'm sure you'll find yourself completing missions faster. Okay, with that aside, I'd like to know your thoughts on boosters because there's one specific booster that is a bit underwhelming, not because it's a terrible choice, but because it would probably serve better as a ship module upgrade. So, which one am I referring to? I'll give you about 3 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. If you guessed Hellpod Space Optimization, then you're correct. I'm surprised this isn't a ship upgrade because it seems like it would fit perfectly with the bridge upgrades. They could add it to a previous upgrade instead of us unlocking a new one. This could be a more logical and a useful placement for this particular upgrade, considering it has one that involves Hellpods already, for example, power steering. And the description says, you can steer better and further while dropping in a Hellpod. They could combine the text and change it to where it says, you can steer better and further while dropping in a Hellpod, and you come out the Hellpod fully stocked with ammo, grenades, and stims. And right there, I like that way more. I'm sure there's more boosters out there that could probably be changed around. For example, the UAV Recon booster, which increases the radar range. You know, it's very similar to the targeting software upgrade as well, but yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. And with that, this is your Helldivers 2 news. If you guys would like to be featured in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below. Right here, we have the first comment by Silly Cat Enjoyer 1. This person says, I faced a traitor today. I went to Estanu to take a break from fighting bots non-stop for the last few days. I said, taking a break from the MO, LOL, in the chat. The level 150 host said, screw the MO, and he would burn Super Earth down to the ground and killed me. I respawned and killed him. Then he kicked me. I faced an actual lore accurate dissonant. Stay vigilant, Helldivers. The second comment is by Luke Mihalik 370. Holy smokes, I think this has got to be the 3rd, 4th, 5th time. Anyways, I appreciate you commenting. This user said, Pelican can now do barrel rolls through concrete. Shut its hatch, hide underneath 5 feet of concrete, just do a backflip, and take off empty. I think the moral augmentation, we are just getting our crews drunk. And another frequent commenter, Kasnips Adventure says, I don't know why, but this game has been recently overtaken by friendly firing a-holes. First it happened to me on Gatria. A dude took all barrages, threw them down the moment we spawned in, and started shooting us with his breaker incendiary amidst the chaos of 4 orbital barrages going off. Another time, also on Gatria, there was a dude who stayed at the main objective without the sub-objectives being completed, and was then spamming chat about how we're all noobs, can't do the mission in time, 24 minutes left as we did the last sub-objective for your information, and how we're not worth reinforcing after death. And lastly on Acer Pass, largely the same event as the first one, but with a Scorcher and denying friendly fire after killing 2 of us. Divers, kick these undemocratic automaton spies the moment you spot them. There's the top 3 comments. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.